It's another Saturday when we bring you your favorite security and safety program on television, Security Watch Africa. Welcome to your program today, and this is the African Independent Television. On this program, every week we'll give you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome. Today, we are continuing from where we ended last week to bring and to at least to a conclusive end this issue of discussion in Nigeria. But I really want to express our sympathy to all those who may have lost the relatives of those who may have lost their lives and their valuables on this flood that is ravaging the country, ravaging states across the country. At the last count, 13 states have been affected drastically, and it's not something that we should look away from. It's something that demands everybody's attention. Yes, I know that about 4 months ago, the National Meteorological Agency actually warned that there will be heavy and disaster-prone flood across the country. But unfortunately, some states didn't take precautionary measures, and today we're seeing what we're seeing, and it's very, very sad that people are dying indoors and their valuables have been lost. We hope that with the new warning again last week that more floods are still being expected, we hope that those agencies and governments, state governments and local governments should sit up and protect their citizens. Welcome to the program today. Yes, like I said, we're continuing from where we ended last week, but we want to also send the congratulatory messages to all those that were given the National Honors Award by Mr. President, particularly those in the security sector, the service chiefs and the heads of various security agencies. I must say that your labor has been recognized by the government and Nigerians, and we hope and pray that you sit up. This will ginger you to do more for the citizens of Nigeria, because it's said that to whom much is given, much is expected. So congratulations for the awards, but Nigerians demand more from you all. Yes, let's go straight to our report for today. We are starting up with a report put together by Shirley Daniels on what the people are saying, particularly in some parts of the Federal Capital Territory. About a few months ago, there was this threat, this warning of terrorist attack, and the gas brigade of the Nigerian Army decided to carry out operations to clean up the camps of these terrorists. Sit back as we bring you this report, because people were talking months after that action. What is the views of the people? Sit back.
Few months ago, there was a serious fear of attack on some facilities in this area by terrorists. But officers of the Nigerian Army took the fight to the enclaves of these terrorists and insurgents in the hills and forests around. Sadly, some officers and soldiers paid the supreme price. We are here today to find out from citizens how safe they feel after the operations was carried out by the Nigerian Army.
Presently, we are safe. Presently, everything is calm. We are no longer under tension, just like that time. So I think the soldier tried. They have stabilized many things here. So business are going out well. We are no longer scared while sleeping. So presently I think the soldier tried and we are safe now. We think we are safe.
We thank God for the intervention of the military. They did a great job. And since that time, I think the place is a bit secured. To an extent, they have done a great job. We are not that afraid again. We can move like where I school in Veritas. I'm running a program in Veritas. During that period, it was terrible. We were scared going to school, but now we go and come back anytime. We are not that scared again.
Since I came, the insecurity we were experiencing before now, the presence of the military men around this place, it has beefed up the security, to an extent. So everybody is going about doing his or her business. There's no panic anymore. unlike before when we had the information on the news that they are about storming the area. But now their presence has made everything to be calm.
There was fear before now, the fear of kidnapping, insecurity, and loss of life and property. But I think now the army is all around, and their presence has calmed the situation. People going around seeing them at the major junctions, I think it has been able to bring rest of mind to the people around.
We thank God for the safe. We are safe for Bori here. There is not anything like we are no convenience. We are very convenient. We are safe with the Nigerian army. They are trying their best.
They are trying because as I am coming from Kudu now, I saw this security, this armored tank and other pickups which are army, armed. So I know they are doing their best, humanly. I am safe. I'm safe.
I would love to say that the security operatives are actually doing good jobs, because a few months ago we had the threat from the terrorists, but the security operatives have been moving around to ensure the safety of the people within the environment. So as I speak to you right now, I can tell you that like you can see them moving around, we are actually safe within the environment right now.
All thanks to the security agencies, especially the armies, they did so well, and honestly I must applaud them. I wouldn't say enough, but to an extent they've tried. I can't say 100%, but 70% they've done well, and we pray that God will give them the grace to do more. As security is cardinal responsibility of government, Nigerians on the street have expressed happiness with recent successes against terrorism and insurgents that had continued to traumatize their lives. They hope that with the recent successes brought about by the onslaught launched against criminals' hideouts by the Nigerian army will be sustained to help guarantee a safer Nigeria. Shirley Daniels, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
This is the first award that we as a service have accepted since I came on board. And the reason is simple. Despite several nominations by various organizations, we have continued to focus on meeting our constitutional role rather than be derailed by praises and adulation. However, we decided to accept this award because we believe that Security Watch is reputable, credible, and engages in unbiased reporting of security-related issues and strive to bridge the security information gap in Nigeria, West Africa, and the world at large.
Welcome back. You had that report, but I think we just quickly have to also look at the flip side. NSNECU Security Watch Africa did also another report, spoke with the people on the streets in the Federal Capital Territory to find out their views about the police in the Federal Capital Territory, how they have performed this far. So sit back as we bring you this report.
The Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, over time, have had its own share of security challenges that is being experienced in most parts of the country. The expectations from most quarters is that the Federal Capital Territory FCT should have a watertight security arrangements as a seat of power. Security Watch Africa went to the streets of the FCT to find out how safe residents of the city feel.
What we are hearing on a daily basis about insecurity, I think to me, Abuja is a little bit safe than other states.
Area that is safe again in Nigeria, even in the FCT, I think we are more prone to attack because with the recent security challenges, FCT is no longer safe for anybody, not even any state. There can be attack on anywhere.
There is no security around. Abuja is not safe at all. Because if you'll be walking in fear. Because of all these herdsmen and other these bad boys. all this kidnapping, you'll be afraid of to walk any moment from 6, 5, 7 down.
I can attest to the fact that Abuja is very safe. Otherwise, even you talking to me right now, if Abuja is not safe, you can't talk to me. Abuja is very safe.
Abuja is 70% safe, 70. But as of 3 months back, it was not safe. But we keep praying, and the Nigerian police and the security have improved a little. But I want to urge them, the security agencies, to improve more in the security of Abuja because it's very porous. It has been left in the hands of hoodlums. Many people come into this city to threaten the populace and the citizens of Abuja, and the federal government is not looking into that.
They also gave their views on the performance of the Nigerian police force in the FCT.
I've not seen any police around me. I can't remember the last time I even saw police.
If you talk about Nigeria police, I think they are, if I have to rate them, I think I will rate them 40%. Because when you look at what is happening, you discover that Nigeria police, they are not, I don't know if it's from the individual or from the government, because they are not competent. In fact, they are not working. They are not working. They are not working as ought to be.
Performance is not encouraging. It's not encouraged. Because look at this side. Did you see any of the security here? There is no security in this area. If anything can happen, you can have everybody, they will go away with what they can do. Because if you are working, you will not even see the security.
Nigerian police, if I want to grade them, I can give them 80 over 100. They are trying 80 because they are really working hard. And I want them to also improve, more especially this new police IG is trying. He should also improve on his men, and they should also improve, and God will help them.
From the opinions of the residents of the FCT, much is desired from the Nigerian police force in ensuring that people go about their lawful businesses. Ernest Enuneku, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
I want to commend you for the excellent work you are doing, Security Watch Africa. You have kept your mission in focus, and you have kept your objectives in focus. You've been quite dispassionate and also objective, non-partisan, and this is how journalism should be, and I commend you for that. It's an honor, feel honored, and I want to assure you that by God's grace we'll be there live to receive the awards. I want to say that I shall be there also to deliver the lecture.
Thank you, sir.
I will start working on it.
Welcome back. Yes, you had the views of the Nigerians on the street. The one thing you can't take away from Nigerians is that they are very, very expressive. They will say it the way it is. And it's for those concerned to sit up and do their work. Yes, let me come to the studio discussion now with our guest. He was here last week. He made time. I know he's busy, supposed to be traveling, but here he is because he's concerned about our viewers getting the right information. Yeah, I'm talking about Suleiman Ubagaya, the former National Deputy President of Nigerian Guild of Editors, and also the Chief Executive and Chairman of Sky Limit Media Group. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you know, I know time has been spent, but from where we stopped last week, we looked at the issues of those 23 people that were released, that were the adoptees of the train incident that were released, and who commended the security agency and government for the work they did, and proffered way forward for it not to happen again. But let's look at what aftermath. Some Nigerians had come out to place so much emphasis on that the government actually released 101 of Boko Haram fighters in place of these 23 Nigerians. Do we need to do this for now? What should be our concentration now?
Okay, thank you for bringing this up. First of all, the government was faced with three options when that train was attacked in March, earlier in March this year. One of the options was to simply storm the camp where they were being held, and eventually suffer at least 60% casualty, as confirmed by Professor Usman Yusuf, who served as Secretary of the committee set up by the Chief of Defense Staff. He said if the security forces had stormed the camp, we would have ended up with 60% of those held being killed. So it wasn't a risk that was worth taking. And of course, the second option would have been payment of ransom. The problem with payment of ransom is you are in a way emboldening or strengthening their ability to, acquire more arms and eventually kidnap more people. So it's going to be an endless program. The government clearly decided not to take that option. So for me, the third option, of course, is to do a prisoner swap. Whether that has happened or not is what has not been confirmed. But then, of course, Professor Usman Yusuf told us nothing like that took place. But even if it had taken place, I don't think it is nothing wrong. Because if you look through history, you realize that in 2019, Trevor Reed, a retired American Marine, went to Russia. And he had an altercation with the Russian police, and he was arrested. 2 years ago, he was jailed for 9 years. Then American government decided to do a prisoner swap with the Russian forces, and they ended up swapping Reed with a convicted criminal, who in whose possession a very large consignment of drugs was found, a drug pusher, so to say. So, and here we are talking about ordinary citizens who committed no offense. In the case of the American government, they swapped somebody convicted of a crime. But here we are talking about people whose offense was only boarding that train, ill-fated train, and they were abducted. If government has truly taken that measure to get them released, for me, and definitely if you go through history, as far as history is concerned, there is nothing wrong in what the government has done. And in any case, the most fundamental thing is for us to appreciate what the government has done. The president of the country, President Muhammadu Buhari, promised about 6 months ago that these people are going to be rescued alive and unhurt. And that has happened. So the security services, encompassing the intelligence, the DSS, the DIA, the military intelligence, and the rest, they ought to be honored and recognized, and appreciated for what they have done for the country. Rescuing these people, all these people making noise about prisoner swap and the rest, obviously they have never experienced kidnap, either being kidnapped directly or having one of their close relations being kidnapped. I don't think it happens to anyone.
Just try to divert attention from the real issue, the gladness that the people are having, the joy that this succeeded.
Yes,
maybe
honestly,
we are not expecting that these people could be rescued so quickly.
You see, the problem with us Nigerians is that we take our criticism or opposition of the government too far. In many countries of the world, in fact, almost all countries of the world that I have known, you hardly hear citizens getting, or rather politicizing security. But here in Nigeria, we tend to do that a lot. We feel that, okay, if we condemn the military, it aggregates to maybe condemning President Buhari. We should be able to isolate the presidency from the military, because those guys are going to remain. They say soldier come, soldier go, barrack remains. Exactly. So after President Buhari, another person will come. It can be Tinubu, Atiku, Kwankwaso, Peter Obi. It can be anybody, and if we happen to be supportive of that person, we'll now start contending with the issue of, raising the morale of the same military that we have condemned of recent. So we need to be very careful the way we open our mouths or use our laptops or phones to condemn the military. Yes, because it will boomerang.
Yeah, it will definitely to boomerang, because looking at the 2014, there was this the Chibok girls incident, and if government had acted quickly, you know, and like this one, they were rescued in this case. This maybe we would have gotten more, so many of them. But before, when government decided to act, it was late because they'll be married out and be given out. So lessons to draw here.
Yes.
What do you think the lesson now? Should government quickly try to see how to get people rescued?
Yes, honestly, well, the most fundamental thing, honestly, is what the security services are already doing, trying to make it impossible or difficult for these men of evil to continue to abduct or kidnap people.
Yes.
You know, and of course, the most fundamental thing is, if it happens, government should evolve more effective and faster ways, you know, to rescue its citizens from the hands of these men of evil. So the government has done well thus far, and the security of the country, you can feel it anywhere, even though I had some of the respondents in that report, given the government or the security services 40%.
Of
course,
some have given them. He has never seen police around.
Exactly, but I've been seeing police around does not aggregate to security. In many countries of the world, you don't even see police. Okay. They monitor everything through CCTV.
Yeah, but let me come to one of those people that were honored. Actually, was the Chief of Defense Intelligence, which is literally somebody you have critically observed and studied so well. And I know they play a very significant role in the release of these 23 adoptees. What would you say of our intelligence now? It seems to be working much better than before.
I wrote in my column in The Sun yesterday about the Chief of Defense Intelligence particularly. You know, I really limited to him. I was commending some persons that had been bestowed the national honors by the Mr. President. And of course, one of the persons whose award I really hailed was that of Major General Samuel Adebayo. Okay. He's an exceptional patriot. Who has continued to do very well, to continue to do his very best for this country. He has been hidden. He is the man behind the marks. You understand? He doesn't care about taking credit. Yeah. He does his work, feeding the action agencies with actionable intelligence, you know, very regularly. And he has done well, and maybe in the course of time, Nigeria will come to know about him. Okay. He doesn't care about publicity, that's the problem.
All right, viewers, let's just take a short break and come back and continue with this discussion.
Once you talk about security, you know you get me immediately. Once you talk about peace, you know you find me immediately. I really want to thank you people, and be rest assured that my lecture notes will be ready. It's something I'd like to attend because it should be encouraging. Peace shouldn't elude Africa, because once we don't have peace, then what else do we stand for? Once anything happens in the whole world, we're always the whipping boys. So we should do everything possible in Africa to have peace and to live with one another in peace.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, quickly, as we are rounding up for other programs to continue, let me just take you back to your visits to Turkey, Egypt, study how media relates in terms of security, because you have talked about issue of security and there's no need to politicize issues of security. Tell us briefly, what lesson can Nigerians draw from these experiences?
The Nigerian media, like I said last week, has done a very well job in terms of strengthening democracy. It has made a lot of sacrifice, but then it should be very careful not to throw the baby with the bathwater, because you see, if anything happens to this country, all of us are going to be badly affected. So we have a responsibility. Citing the example of Turkey that you said, even though the government has been seriously antagonistic towards the Turkish press has been able to insulate the government from the security services. You know, it makes sure that the support it gives the military, its security forces, is consistent and is unrelenting. For example, if the terrorists, the PKK group in Turkey, for example, does anything against the military, the Turkish press ensures it doesn't give it any much publicity. Yeah. It buries the story as a brief deep inside a newspaper. If it is a television or radio house, deep inside a bulletin, you know, making it
insignificant.
Insignificant, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I believe Nigerian press should be doing, because the security services are not working for themselves. They're in the trenches. While it rains, they are out there taken separate from the elements where we are in air-conditioned, comfortable homes. So we have a duty, honestly, to help them, to support them, and using whatever platforms we have.
Thank you so much for your time. Viewers, unfortunately, we'll have to leave for other programs to continue. But if you have enjoyed watching us, join us again. Next week, we will bring another very interesting edition of the program. But meanwhile, join us on various social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and send us email so that we can communicate and get answers to your questions. Until we come here again next week, I say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.